The power just went out, and this light is still glowing. That is an emergency light. This is how to wire emergency lights. The fittings that stay lit when the mains fails. There are two kinds, and one wire that everything depends on, a permanent live. Get that wrong, and the light looks fine until the day you actually need it. Stay with me. The two types, the exact wiring, the one mistake that kills them, and how to test one. Then we build it live in the browser. So start with a big split. Emergency lights come in two types, and they are wired differently. The first is non-maintained. In normal times, it sits dark. It does nothing. The moment the mains fails, its internal battery takes over and the lamp comes on. Most emergency lights in offices, stairwells, and back rooms are non-maintained. You never see them lit until the power drops. The second is maintained. A maintained fitting is lit all the time, on the mains, like a normal light. When the mains fails, it simply keeps going on its battery. You do not see it switch. It never goes dark. This is what an illuminated exit sign is. It has to be readable in normal light and in a blackout, so it stays on either way. So, non-maintained is dark now, on in a failure. Maintained is on now, and stays on a failure. Same idea underneath. A battery, a charger, and a changeover that watches the mains. The wiring is what differs. Quick pause. The emergency light wiring diagram in this video is free to open in your browser at CircuitDiagramMaker.app. No install, no sign up. The link is in the description. Open it and follow along. Right, the wiring. Now, the wiring and the one wire that matters most. A non-maintained fitting needs three things: a permanent live, a neutral, and an earth. The permanent live is the key word. It is a live that is always on, never switched. It runs the charger inside the fitting, which keeps the battery topped up around the clock. Neutral completes that circuit. Earth is for safety. There is no switched live on a plain, non-maintained fitting. It is not controlled by a switch. It charges quietly and waits. A maintained fitting needs all of that: permanent live, neutral, earth, plus a switch live for the lamp. The permanent live still keeps the battery charged. The switched live turns the lamp on and off in normal use from the local light switch. Inside every fitting is the same trio: a charger, a battery, and a changeover. The changeover watches the mains. Mains healthy, the lamp runs from the mains. Mains gone, it flips to the battery in a fraction of a second. Now the mistake that kills emergency lights. Wiring them off a switch live only. Picture it. You tap the fittings live off the switched wire, the one the wall switch controls. It looks like it works. Flip the switch, the lamp comes on. But that live is only on when the switch is on. So the charger only runs when someone leaves the light on. Most of the time, the battery is slowly going flat. Then the power cuts out. The battery is dead, and the emergency light does nothing on the one night mattered. There's a second half to this. Where do you take the permanent live from? Take it from the local lighting circuit before it's switch, the same circuit as the lights in that area. Do that, and the emergency light dies with the circuit it is protecting. If a fault kills the lights in a room, the emergency light in that room is already awake, running on battery. So, permanent live, always on, from the local lighting circuit. Never a switched live alone. One more practical thing: testing. Every emergency light has a test. Usually a key switch or a test button that cuts the mains feed to that fitting, just like a real outage. The lamp should come on and stay on. A common rule of thumb: it should run for 3 hours on its battery. A quick monthly flick of the test, and a longer full test once a year, is the usual idea. And two quick notes. The charging side is mains, real, dangerous voltage. This video explains the circuit and the diagram. For a real install, follow your local codes and use a qualified electrician. Emergency lighting is often a legal requirement in public and commercial buildings. Now let us see it in a browser. This is the free editor at CircuitDiagramMaker.app with an emergency light circuit open. Follow it through. A supply on the left. Protection, a fuse. The control module and relay that drive the light. And the return back to the ground. Every line here is a real electrical connection, not just a drawing. Select any part, and its properties show up on the right. real labels, real values. And you can build one from scratch. Search the library, a supply, a switch, a light, a ground. Click to place each one. Then press W for the wire tool and click pin to pin. The wires route themselves at clean right angles. And here's the part one like. It actually simulates. Hit Simulate, choose DC operating point, and run it. The engine solves the whole circuit and drops real numbers straight onto the diagram. Voltage on every node, current through every branch. Break the loop, and the numbers fall to 0. No current, no light. It is the fastest way to sanity check a wiring idea before you touch a single cable. So here's the whole thing, one more time. Emergency lights come in two types. Non-maintained, dark until the power fails. Maintained, lit all the time like an exit sign. Everyone needs a permanent live to keep its battery charged. Take that live from the local lighting circuit before the switch, never off, a switched live alone. And inside, a changeover flips to the battery the instant the mains drops. Want it to stick? Open the same circuit free in your browser, wire it, and simulate it until every connection makes sense. The link is in the description. No install, no credit card. New to wiring? Watch the light switch and LED videos next. And subscribe for a new wiring diagram explained every week. See you in the next one.